I'm Nicole Versansky from 19 News. Here are the latest headlines for Friday, March 20th, 2026.
First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
First at 4, college hoops on CBS. Thanks for joining us as we stream our newscast on 19 News Plus. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy.
And I'm Nicole Versansky. And we begin first at 4 with a father's plea searching for the driver who crashed into his son and his friend's car and just took off. They both have serious injuries. 19's Isabella Roberts joining us live now with the story. Isabella.
Nicole, Brian, 11 days ago, right here at the intersection of Pearl Road and Denison Avenue, Richard Swancer and his friend were struck by a speeding car. The driver of that car fled the scene and still remains unidentified. Today, I spoke with Swancer's father. He tells me he wants those who fled held accountable.
I mean, I love my kids.
Through tears today, Samuel Sloan shared the moment he received a call about his son, Richard Swancer, that made time stop.
I mean, it's just a tragedy. You know, reckless drivers.
On March 9th, a blue Dodge Charger sped through a red light and slammed into Swancer's car.
My son was turning into the gas station, and the car ran a red light and hit him.
Sloan showed me a video from the scene, one we're not able to show you. In that video, 3 people from the blue Dodge Charger are seen getting into another vehicle and leaving, all before police arrived. 11 days later, still no arrests, and police say they need the public's help to crack this case. Swancer suffered some injuries, but thankfully will recover.
He's got some broken ribs on the right side, damage to his leg, side of his head.
But his friend, the passenger in their car, remains in critical condition.
As far as I know, he's fighting for his life.
Cleveland police are asking anyone who recognizes these 3 persons of interest to come forward. Tonight, Swancer's father says his family wants justice. What do you want the people who left the scene to know?
I just hope they get everything coming to them. And they got a conscience to turn themselves in.
I spoke with Cleveland police today. They were unable to complete an interview with me. They told me that the case still remains open and that they're still accepting any information from the public. So if you have anything that can help, give Cleveland police a call. Live in Cleveland, Isabella Roberts, 19 News.
Breaking news first at 4, a Cuyahoga County grand jury has indicted the Cleveland mother accused of killing her 2 young daughters and burying them in suitcases. 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson is charged with aggravated murder in the deaths of her daughters, 8-year-old Mila Chapman and 10-year-old Amore Wilson. This is video of the mother being arrested on March 4th. The girls are half-sisters. Their bodies were found just a few weeks ago. The indictment lists more than a dozen charges. Her next court appearance has not yet been scheduled.
Breaking at 4, Warrensville Heights are searching, the police there, for the parents or guardians of a 2-year-old found at the Cleveland Marriott East Hotel. This is a photo of the little boy. Look at him. He was found this morning in an elevator at that Marriott. Officers checked every hotel room, they tell us, but they were not able to identify anybody who was with the child. Now they're searching for this little boy's parents or their guardians. If you recognize him or know anything about this, please call the Warrensville Heights Police Department.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Winter's history.
Right.
right. We know how it goes around here. But spring is starting off a little cold.
A little cold, a little warmer, though, than the week started.
Well, relatively speaking.
Think of this week, though. What a wild week it has been, weather-wise.
Oh, and we have more.
Snow. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we do. I mean, yeah, sure. We're talking 60s, 70s, and then snow.
Not just smooth sailing from here,
Oh, golly. Shucks. Well, hey, and I'm always the bearer of the news, you know. The lake is quiet here. Our Conneaut camera, the First Alert Camera Network. Why is it quiet? Because the breezes are coming out of the south, and and that does not generate waves. Tonight, though, we're going to see some patchy fog developing in the wake of the showers that came through here earlier today and still are coming through a few places. Intervals of clouds and sun for Saturday, afternoon showers and storms on Sunday. Wow. That front that's coming through Sunday is industrial strength. 62 downtown right now, southwest winds. Brian, is 62? I mean, come on. You got to like that.
Love it.
62 at southwest winds at Hopkins as well. Here are the rest of the readings. Sandusky's checking in with 68. A little rain around Ashtabula. They're checking in with 55. Everybody else is in between. There are the showers. The moderate stuff's in yellow, the light in green. We'll close in on where this is coming down. There you have it. And it's making an exit here as we make our way through the afternoon. We'll be seeing that. And as temperatures take a slide, this is the symbol for fog. So by 2 in the morning, we'll start to see some fog developing. What's ahead? 7 days worth of ups and downs. I'll have them for you ahead.
All right, John, thank you. Well, the cleanup, the repairs continues from last week's hurricane-force winds. The problem is, though, scammers know that.
Boy, they come out quickly. Some will drive from out of state to try and steal your money. The Better Business Bureau talked with our Dan DeRose today with a warning on what they call storm chasers.
Because of all the storm damage that we have had, the super high winds from last week that then carried through, the Better Business Bureau is also putting out a warning about storm chasers. And there's some red flags if you've had some roof damage or you have a tree down in your yard. Here's the biggest one. Right away, they say, if it is unsolicited, you didn't call anybody, and all of a sudden somebody's knocking on your door saying, hey, I'm here to help you with the repair work, that should be your first red flag. And then they go on from there. The person who knocks on your door, hey, they need a decision right now. They're giving you a good deal. They want to start working right away, but they need that urgent decision, trying to push you towards it. Next up, they don't have a contract, or it's not a real looking contract. They just scribble some stuff out. That's another red flag. And then when it comes to payment, I did ask the advisors from Better Business Bureau, what do you do even if you think and you've called someone, when it comes to making that payment? Do you pay it all up front? Do you pay 50%? And here's their advice.
We recommend in thirds. So pay a third up front before the work is done. Pay a third then once the work is being done in the middle of the project. And then your final third at the very end once the project is complete.
Bottom line, according to the Better Business Bureau, you should get 3 estimates. So if somebody knocked on your door, take that information and say, hey, thank you very much. I'm going to get 2 more estimates. That way you know if they shot you a price that was just way too low, they may have been trying to scam you. Again, this is another just buyer beware. Think about it and be cautious. Dan DeRose, 19 News.
Well, it was a test of patience in protecting the people up and down a city street for the Cleveland police, and they waited out a man who was wanted for domestic abuse in a standoff that dragged on for 9 hours in Slavic Village.
So now that man, he walked away safe. He's being held on a $1 million bond. Our Harry Boomer explains the charges now against him. Harry.
Guys, I'm here at the 3rd District Police Station. They responded to the initial 911 call regarding that standoff and the assault. Richard Clark was arraigned in Cleveland Municipal Court this morning. His defense attorney entered a not guilty plea on his behalf to the charges of attempted murder, felonious assault, and in effect having a gun that he was not supposed to have.
It took SWAT hours to finally get Richard Clark to come out of a Slavic Village house with his hands up. It started in the early morning hours on Nursery Avenue and lasted until almost noon on Thursday. It also took a volley of gunfire, a couple of tear gas canisters pumped into the house, and a battering ram, and several pleas by authorities to capture Clark.
Richard Clark, come outside with nothing in your hand and comply with police officer's order.
The house where the assault unfolded is boarded up now. Those living there will have major repairs following the damage done by this skid steer with a battering ram. It was used to punch holes in the front of the house. The SWAT team and police tried to get Clark to surrender, but because he wouldn't, they had to use whatever force necessary, shy of shooting him.
Cleveland PIO Sergeant Freddie Diaz says here's what led to the 2:40 a.m. incident.
3rd District received a call for an alleged assault where the victim stated that she had been assaulted multiple times by a suspect.
She ended up in the hospital for treatment. Once Clark was in custody, he was charged with attempted murder. It took SWAT's persistent efforts to get him to come out. They had to hide behind police vehicles for safety during the tense standoff. This is what the house looks like now after Clark barricaded himself in the house in the 3000 block of Nursery Avenue.
You know who fired those shots? It sounds like it was coming one way. It wasn't a pow, 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 back and forth. It was just pow, 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 pow.
I'm not sure we could tell where it's coming from, but that's part of the investigation.
Richard Clark is being held on a $1 million bond. The name of the woman who he is charged with assaulting has not been released, nor has her condition. Outside the 3rd District Police Station, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
This is a 19 First Alert breaking traffic alert.
Continuing to first alert you to that crash on 490 westbound just before the intersection of 71 and 90. Now, ODOT has just pivoted the cameras over, so the last I was able to see was that there was still crews working to clear that crash, blocking the right side of the highway, so stay over to the left side as best you can as you're slowing down around those crews. Speeds were just around 20 miles per hour leading up to that crash, with this backup starting just past Broadway Avenue. But I want to bring you to 71 in Clark. ODOT has just moved the camera again. If they zoomed back over there, you would see bumper-to-bumper traffic because of a fire truck that's blocking the left lane here on 71 southbound around Clark. And that consequently is causing backups all the way to Dead Man's Curve as drivers are already filling up the freeway during rush hour. Speeds on 71 south and 90 westbound are as slow as 8 miles per hour here. And you can see the headache on the highway that looks a little more like a parking lot, especially over where 90 passes Kenilworth Avenue and on the south side of downtown by 77. Delays if you're heading west on 90 or south on 71, also going to be at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Action star and martial arts grandmaster Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86.
Silver screen action movies and TV's Walker, Texas Ranger helped cement Norris as an iconic tough guy. He was fun to watch.
He was also outspoken about his personal and political beliefs. Michael George takes a look back at his career.
Didn't work, huh? Now it will.
Described as the ultimate tough guy, Chuck Norris made light work of laying down foes. Norris starred in more than 30 action films, becoming synonymous with the word macho.
A compassionate guy who can stand up when he needs to stand up.
Before his acting career, Norris started training in martial arts during an Air Force deployment in Korea. He achieved great competitive success, becoming a 6-time undefeated world professional middleweight karate champion. Norris founded his own style of karate as well as the United Fighting Arts Federation, awarding more than 3,300 eponymous black belts worldwide. TV's action crime series Walker, Texas Ranger put Norris in American living rooms every week for 9 seasons, even earning him an honorary Texas Ranger title.
The 8.5 years on doing the Walker series was probably the most rewarding 8 years of my film career.
You're the one people call the lone wolf?
I've been called that.
In 2012, he co-starred alongside action heavy hitters Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Jean-Claude Van Damme in The Expendables 2.
Getting a chance to work with friends I've known for over 30 years, Arnold, Sly, and Van Damme and Bruce Willis, I said this would probably be the only time I'd ever get to work with all of them at one time. So that's why I did it.
The actor was a vocal advocate for Second Amendment rights and actively campaigned for conservative political candidates. Norris's family described his passing as sudden, adding that he was at peace. Michael George, CBS News.
It's been 8 years now since a couple was found shot dead in Cleveland's Buckeye neighborhood.
The case has never been solved, but now their daughter says she will never stop fighting for justice.
Now she has serious questions for police. 19 News reporter Noelle Williams has our story.
Make you disappointed? Does it make you sad? Does it make you angry?
I think one of the most abundance of feelings that I feel is anger.
Cheyenne Smith is angry at where her parents' case stands, questioning if police are searching every corner for answers in what she calls a cold case.
It's hard to talk about it.
I spoke with Smith, who currently lives in Washington State, via Zoom. She says her father and stepmother, Michael and Julianne Fischbach, were brutally murdered in January of 2018. They were found shot and killed in a car along Kennedy Avenue. I spoke with Smith back in September of 2025 after this $5,000 Crime Stoppers reward was offered in their case. But still nothing has turned up.
I don't feel as though this case was necessarily looked into the best way possible.
Smith says a major concern of hers is there possibly being footage that could have captured the murder of her parent. She tells me that detectives initially told her that cameras at buildings in nearby homes where they were found did not work, but she now tells me she believes that's not entirely true. I reached out to Cleveland police to see if they have any new information and if it was possible the cameras were working or ever worked. So far, police have not responded to my request. I also reached out to the Ohio Attorney General's office. I wanted to learn if BCI was involved. However, a spokesperson with BCI tells me they have not been requested in the Fischbach investigation.
If the detectives on your parents' case was watching this interview right now, what would you say to them or ask them?
I would ask that they revisit this case with 100% honesty, 100% transparency.
In Cleveland's Buckeye neighborhood, Noel Williams, 19 News.
One of 4 suspects has pleaded guilty in the violent robbery of an Amish family at their home in Middlefield Township. Bradford Hostler pleaded guilty on Monday to aggravated robbery and kidnapping charges. Investigators say last October, the men forced their way into the family's home. They held their young son hostage, used a stun gun on the victim, stole about $5,000. Hostler's sentencing is on hold because we've learned he's expected to testify against the other defendants.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Well, southerly breezes will keep the lake flat. And yes, that's somebody walking along the shoreline. There are a number of people there. That is an inviting place, Edgewater, part of our First Alert camera network. Here are temperatures. Easy to take readings in the 60s, 68 at Sandusky, but oh wow, is that 68 going to change dramatically? When the winds are coming out of the south, you know that the temperatures are going to be warm along the lakeshore. When they're coming out of the north, very different story. By 6 o'clock, we're talking temperatures that are real easy to make a commute home in, and that'll be the case as you make your way to Saturday morning as well. If you're out running errands, temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Now, note what happens in the afternoon. We see temperatures that are as cold as upper 30s and as warm as 60, 61 degrees. The lakeshore gets chilly. Why? Because we have winds that have shifted and become northerly. Sunday, we start the day pretty quietly, 53, and then on our way into Sunday afternoon, we see temperatures that slide pretty dramatically. Again, there's that 39 at Sandusky. Meanwhile, a 71 down at Dover, New Philly. North wind will do that, and then the strong cold front comes through. Here's the 8 o'clock stop down with showers that are light and moderate, the shades of orange, yellow, and green, and then the heavy stuff coming in, and that's the red and the maroon shades. This is 11 o'clock at night. We're going to be awakened to rumbles of thunder, especially if you go to sleep early on Sunday. Monday morning, cold. Actually seasonable. 32 is our average low. And then what comes with a temperature around freezing, we have lake effect snow that comes in on Monday. It's not going to be of much consequence, but we are going to have lake effect snow. So thunderstorms and temperatures in the 60s to low 70s, and then lake effect snow on Monday from Sunday into Monday. Quite a change. We're dry and mild tomorrow, 54 after the morning fog. Remember, that has to lift before we get underway. 66 with showers and storms on Sunday. The plunge with a cold front that comes through, down to 33. 37 with light lake effect snow on Monday. Tuesday is going to be dry and seasonable. Wednesday, look for just a sun clouds mix and a seasonable 43. We're back up to 60 on Thursday with the winds picking up and the showers, and then mainly gray and chilly Friday, 60 to 39. Yeah, the ups and downs of spring, and then a pretty quiet weekend followed by a Monday with mid-50s and some rain.
Okay, breaking news just into the newsroom now. Warrensville Heights police say the little boy that was found in a hotel elevator has been reunited with a guardian. Police are not saying if it's a parent or a guardian. Police say the child left the room while the guardian was asleep inside. There are a lot of questions still here, as the police said they went through the whole hotel looking for someone who knew who the child was. They are still investigating this incident.
A new legal battle over climate rules, and Cleveland is right in the middle of it. Cleveland is one of 10 cities in dozens of states suing the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington. The EPA has avoided a 2009 finding saying greenhouse gases threaten public health. The problem is the finding has been the legal basis for federal limits on pollution. The suit says the EPA is abandoning its duty to protect Americans from climate change. The agency argues the lawsuit is politically motivated.
New information now first at 4. The Guardian's getting some relief for the payroll. The good news is they do not have to pay Emmanuel Clase or Luis Ortiz while the gambling investigation against those two continues. Clase and Ortiz are accused of conspiring with gamblers to rig certain pitches during games. Clase is facing significant charges, and as investigators believe he was more involved than Ortiz. There are allegations that Clase was involved in this during a playoff series with the Yankees. It's appalling if true. Both were placed on leave last July. They were paid even though they didn't pitch again last season. In November, they were indicted. Right now, trial set to start on May 4th.
A Cuyahoga County grand jury has indicted 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson. She's charged with aggravated murder and the deaths of her daughters, 8-year-old Mila Chapman and 10-year-old Amor Wilson. This is video of her arrest back on March 4th. The girls were half-sisters. Their bodies were found buried in suitcases near Ginn Academy 2 weeks ago. The indictment lists more than a dozen charges, including aggravated murder and gross abuse of a corpse. At this time, her next court appearance has not been scheduled.
Lorain City Schools has eliminated over 150 positions for next school year. Right now, specific cuts have not been announced. That's because the district doesn't have enough money to pay for those positions. But that could be avoided if a levy on the May ballot passes. If it doesn't, cuts are inevitable. According to the union, the district must deliver the list of affected staff 60 days before they take effect.
The man, police say, who's behind this hours-long standoff yesterday is being held on a $1 million bond. He's charged with attempted murder. Richard Clark pled not guilty this morning in court. He was taken into custody after this standoff that lasted for over 9 hours with police, with SWAT on Thursday. A woman who was in the home was taken to the hospital. We do not have an update on her condition. Cleveland police continue to investigate. I'm Nicole Versansky. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe for the latest headlines every weekday. And be sure to download 19 News Plus to watch live newscasts and our award-winning true crime series, Dark Side of the Land.